Welcome to the Omnia Sol Art Show, a glitch art video podcast. Episode 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Snowdays. Hello, everyone out there in the land of the internet. Welcome to the Omnia Sol Art Show, also known as TOSAS. I, of course, am your hostess with the mostess, Omnia Sol, and we got a great show for you lined up today, tonight, or whenever you are watching it. I have decided to title this episode Snowdays because we are in the middle of what feels like a polar vortex. It has fortunately stopped snowing in Chicago the past couple days, but it's supposed to start up again soon. And the snow is high. It is so high. It's like 2 feet high out there. It's all icy. The entire state of Texas is falling apart because of their power system, everything, the way everything's laid out. They don't have the infrastructure for this snow. Just climate change has made this a disaster, made this so much worse than a normal, there is no normal winter anymore. We're living in a snowpocalypse. But I'd wanted to take this episode to reflect on past snow days, because I used to really like snow. I used to like snow a lot as a kid. And now it's just an inconvenience. But I've decided we're glitching a variety of VHS tapes. Originally with the theme of snow days, I wanted to do Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero, because it feels like we're all Batman out there fighting Mr. Freeze with this polar vortex. But then I thought, this show is supposed to be something that, we can watch and escape from reality for a little bit. So I wanted to warm us up. So I've got one of my favorite tapes that'll also be glitching, that I believe I've glitched on the live show. I think I might have glitched on maybe even the first episode of this show. But it's my instant fireplace tape. It's a VHS recording of a fireplace. And then I'm also going to, once we're warmed up by the fire, I'm going to have us thinking about sunnier times and glitching some of Romeo plus Juliet, because that's a very, although it's a tragedy, it's a very warm movie. A lot of Hawaiian shirts, a lot of great beach scenes, a lot of great Leonardo DiCaprio, 95 Leo, some eye candy for the viewers out there. I guess with all the snow, I was reflecting on snow days of past, because when I was a kid, a snow day was the greatest thing that could ever happen, because it meant you didn't have to go to school and you could go play in the snow. And you know what? I forgot about sledding. I am 30 years old, and when I think of snow, I just think of, I don't want to walk to work in that. Good thing I bought snow boots this year. I don't think of sledding, but I was on Instagram and I saw a friend from college posting some pictures of going sledding. I was like, oh, wow. How did my brain just forget about how fun sledding was? Maybe someday I'll go sledding again. That could be fun. I think I would enjoy that. But yeah, so the title of the episode is Snow Days. So warm up, make some hot cocoa, maybe some tea if that's more your jam, and get out of the snow and enjoy some good old fashioned TV on the internet with me, your host, Omnia Sol, on this glitch art video podcast. We are going to go ahead and move to our first segment of the show. You know what it is. It is time for What am I drinking tonight? All right, for today's section of What am I drinking tonight? I am drinking couple beverages. I'm double fisting it again. Non-alcoholic, of course, as a recovering alcoholic. I no alcohol in the show. Anyways, well, no alcohol in general. You know what I mean. I am drinking a tropical concoction to get us out of the snow day blues. I am drinking an orange pineapple juice that I mixed with some lemonade. Very tropical, very sunny, very tasty, very delicious. And I needed a little bit of a pick me up, a little bit of caffeine. So I am drinking a drink that we have had on the show many a time. I am drinking a Earl Grey tea with a little bit of sugar and almond milk. And I thought today I would share the exclusive Omnia Sol art way of making tea. So the way I make it, I put a little bit of sugar in the raw in the bottom of the cup while I'm boiling the water. And then when the water's boiled, I put about like an inch or two of hot water just on the sugar, and I stir that up with a metal chopstick. And once that's all stirred and the sugar is dissolved in the hot water, I place the tea bag in the water and then pour water on top. Steep for about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how strong you want the tea. Take the tea bag out with and use a tea bag squeezer to get all that good tea that's stuck in the tea bag into your cup. Then add a splash of almond milk. Not a dash, not a stash, a splash of almond milk. And that will be enough almond milk to get you through your tea time. But yeah, this tropical juice is really good. Feeling mentally like I'm on vacation, like I'm on a beach, just soaking up the sun, taking in the rays, in my Hawaiian shirt, like I'm part of Romeo's gang and Romeo plus Juliet. So that has been what am I drinking tonight? Hope that everyone out there is staying warm in the land of the internet, because it's cold. This winter has been so brutal. I am very thankful, though, that I finally, I've been living in Chicago since like 2018, so going on 3 years now since moving to Chicago. And the first couple of years, I did not have good snow boots. I didn't have good snow boots. I just went in sneakers and ruined my sneakers walking through the snow and ice, because it's guaranteed to get up to your knee, because not everywhere shovels. And then you just you're walking and you end up walking into a big snowbank or a puddle, or it's just awful. But I got some good snow boots this year, and I am so thankful for them. They have made my life a lifesaver, because just it's brutal. I don't know where I would be without my good snow boots. But I hope that everyone is staying safe, staying warm, and maybe when you watch this episode, we do the segment, what am I drinking tonight? Often I drink a cup of tea, but you don't like tea, you like coffee, you like hot cocoa, whatever you like to drink, brew yourself a cup. Let's have it together. Let's hang out. Sometimes I worry that this show, I try to keep a good level of amazing and mundane at the same time, whereas I consider the video art to look pretty amazing. Not trying to be egotistical. It's not me doing it. It's circuit bending. It's this technology that exists, this long forgotten technology of VHS that we can then appropriate and create great art with. But I try to juxtapose that with the mundane of my talking. And sometimes I worry it's a little too boring, just talking about my life and everything. But then I talking to a friend about it, was just like, no, it's nice. Cause it's like, I had warned the friend. I had been like, you can skip to the parts that's play music, or you can, you can mute it and play your own music, whatever you want to do. I know my talking can be kind of boring. And he was like, no, it's like I get to hang out with you. We live in different states, but when I watch it, I get to hang out. And so I'm going to try to embrace that and try to make that kind of the focus of the show, is like, you get tea time with me, and we get to hang out together and watch some glitch art together. And I think that's pretty cool. There's not a lot of shows like that. I'd like to, there's a lot of things I want to do with this show, but one thing I think would be really cool that I feel like we're past the point of that. I guess there is Twitch, and I've tried to do Twitch and whatnot, but something like public access, like I was watching these clips of this public access show from the 90s called Raw Time. There's like about maybe like 1 or 2 episodes on YouTube out there, but it's literally this like goth girl in Houston, Texas, like sitting in a chair taking phone calls, and I guess occasionally they play some like rap music videos, but it was at like 3 a.m. at Houston, in Houston, Texas, on public access. So it's literally just like the most like trolling calls, just ridiculous. And she's a good sport. She hangs up on most people, or just like when they say outlandish or terrible things to her, she's just like brush it off like, okay, and goes on to the next caller. But it's just like conceptually so funny, because it's such a good like time capsule of that time when public access existed. And there's a lot of artists who have taken the public access aesthetic and kind of run with it. Like, what, for instance, like anything that Tim and Eric does kind of has that public access seal. And even their show, Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job, has people who are doing public access shows that they bring on and make this comedy show together with. The last thing I want to say that's completely unrelated, and then we'll go into our first song, is that if you ever hear a thud sound that picks up on the mic, I don't think it'll pick up on the mic, but my cat likes to go in and out, but I like to keep my door closed. So my way around that is I have a coffee can full of coins that I use as a doorstop, so that he can open the door when he needs to and come and go as he pleases. But for whatever reason, he can't figure out, just like, if you just knock it, up a little bit, you can get in. It's like anytime the door is even slightly closed, he like jumps and like pushes the door open, which hits the doorstop and makes a loud noise. Hopefully it's not picking it up on the mic, but if it ever does, if you ever hear that thud, that is a little Easter egg behind the scenes of what's going on. But anyways, we are going to go ahead and move to our first song. So I started last week with instead of doing 3 songs from 3 different artists, taking one artist and focusing on them for the show. And so I'm going to continue that this week and see how it goes for future episodes, of picking one band, musician, rapper, someone who makes music, some artist for the week. And this week's artist is a musician coming out of Chicago, Illinois, named Bunny, with an I instead of a Y at the end, Bunni. And I heard her music because we have a mutual kind of Instagram friend who did a music video for her. And I checked out her SoundCloud and I really liked it, reached out, and she was like, yeah, totally, using my music. So I am going to be linking her SoundCloud in the show notes. And if I can figure it out when I upload the video to YouTube, I'm going to try to make it so that when it shows her name in the end credits, you can just click it. There will be a link to her SoundCloud. I'm going to try to figure that out. I've seen it in other videos. I know it can be done. I'm just kind of an old person when it comes to technology, even though I'm only 30 and I've grown up with this bullshit. But anyways, so the artist name is Bunny. Check her out on SoundCloud. And this first song is called BPD. And we will be back with you after the song. Enjoy.
Jellyfish inspired, baby, to come over tonight. So don't put up a fight, 'cause we gon' be alright, alright. Carousels, promethazine, cocaine and filthy deeds, sipping on some pink lean. Please, baby, love me, bring me to the front line, kiss me on your own time. Yeah, feeling you is sublime, but I don't believe in signs, so my feet were stuck in the floor to earth's core, but I'm not yours anymore. Lately, buzz caught above my head. I smile and then look around at the mess that I made. Quiet to ensure I don't go insane. Every night I go and fry up my brain, burning down cities with my own propane. I fly from border to border 'cause I can't be late. Where did the sun go and could she wait? Paradise living ain't what it used to be. I'm lady. Carousels, promethazine, cocaine and filthy deeds, sipping on some pink lean. Please, baby, love me, bring me to the front line, kiss me on your own time. Yeah, feeling you is sublime, but I don't believe in signs, so cocaine and filthy deeds, sipping on some pink lean. Please, baby, love me, bring me to the front line, kiss me on your own time. Yeah, feeling you is sublime, but I don't believe in signs, so
All right, we are back. That was BPD by Bunny, and you can find her on SoundCloud, which will be linked in the show notes, as well as hopefully on the video itself and the end credits. So yeah, go check out her music. And thank you to Bunny for providing music for the show today. We are going to go ahead and move to our next segment of the show, which is a segment we tried out last week, and I've got some updates on it. It's the newest segment to the Omnia Sol art show, also known as TOSAS. It is time for
Goals of the week, Omnia's goals of the week, Omnia's goals of the week, Omnia's goals of the week.
So last week's goals of the week, which were the first ever installment in goals of the weeks, my goals were pretty basic. They were, catch up on laundry was one of them. I think clean my room might have been one of them. And the other goal was just to get this episode done and out on time. And I gotta say, folks, I failed on the majority of these goals. I have not cleaned. I guess I did some sorting of my room, so it's still like a work in progress as far as cleaning. I did a couple loads of laundry that I still need to fold, but as you may know if you're a frequent watcher of the show, this episode is not out on time. I wanted episodes to come out on Wednesdays, and it is not coming out on Wednesdays. It's looking like it's coming out either Thursday night or Friday morning. So that's not good. That's not good. And I don't know how to, I guess, it feels weird apologizing for a free show, but I do want to apologize to the Patreon supporters because I feel like, you support the show. You want it to come out on the day it's supposed to come out. You don't want to wait a day or two. But so I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna keep. It's like for me, it feels like my normal depression is teamed up with my seasonal depression, which is teamed up with my COVID depression, which is teamed up with my executive function disorder. And it's been making getting anything done very difficult. I feel like I go to work and then I come home and do some stuff around the house, and then it's like my energy level is very low. But I'm trying to make some lifestyle changes to fix that. And so that's going to be my goal of the week next week. I still want to do laundry. I want the episode to come out on time, but it's like the goal for next week is to have more energy than I had last week. That's my main goal of the week. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to try to eat a little better, try to exercise. I think that's one of the biggest things is that it's so hard. My main exercising before winter was going on walks and then just going to work since I do retail and being on my feet all day. But I want to come up with a way to try to exercise, to have a little more energy, and hopefully that will help me manage my time better so I can use my free time to enjoy life, but also to get the shit I want to get done and to get the things done that I know will be existentially beneficial for me. Like this show, for instance, gives me a sense of purpose in a completely seemingly meaningless universe. So that and who knows what my goal of the week next week will be. You'll just have to tune in and figure it out. But that has been my
Goals of the week, Omnia's goals of the week, Omnia's goals of the week, Omnia's goals of the week.
All right, we are going to move to the part of the show where I read a tarot card on air. And I just want to say that if you have a question that you want the cards read about, my email is always open, omniasolart@gmail.com. And I also I have a friend setting me up a website, and I ran out of the free trial on Squarespace for my regular email, so I set up another email. The Omnia Sol Art Show at gmail.com is also available, and I also have the Google Voice phone number, which I should check if I've got any messages on that. I have not checked it in a while, but you can always call in and leave a message too if you just want your voice heard on the show, or if you've got a question that you want the tarot cards read about. Oh, it looks like I have one missed call, but no new messages. Anyways, the number for that is 262-612-3069. So feel free to call in, get your question heard on air. But we're going to go ahead and read this tarot card. It is time for
Card of the show.
All right. So for anyone new to the show, how this segment works is that I shuffle my tarot deck 3 times and draw a card, and whatever card I pull, that is your card for the week to reflect on. So if you've got a question in mind, think of it now while I'm shuffling. There is shuffle number 1. Shuffle number 2. And shuffle number 3. And I'm reading from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and I prefer the Centennial edition because I really like the colors. They're more muted and closer to the original paintings than some of the more commonplace, super just poppy yellow colors. So our card of the week, funny enough, funnily is not a word. Funny enough is the Four of Swords, which, looking at this card, it almost looks like someone's on their deathbed, but I don't think so. It's a person kind of, because they kind of match what they're laying on, but it's a person laying down, and they've got their hands in kind of a praying position, and there's like a stained glass window in the background, kind of implying this is almost like a church. And there is one sword on the side of the bed, and then three swords hanging on the wall above the sleeping figure. And oftentimes when I read this card, it has to do with like, you need some rest, you need a break, you need to chill out, you need to take some time, get your bearings back on life. Obviously you can't be traveling out and about with the pandemic, but get some rest, take a vacation if you can, take some time to relax, chill out, lay down, take a nap, get a full 8 hours of sleep, get refreshed. And why I say this card's interesting for this, because of course we're glitching Romeo plus Juliet, and the famous death scene in it where Juliet is sleeping, is like dead in the church, but it's to trick Romeo, and then Romeo ends up like taking, spoiler warning for Shakespeare, but Romeo ends up taking his life, and then Juliet wakes up and is like, what the fuck? And then she ends up taking her life. I just thinking of the sleeping figure in the church, since that scene happens I don't know if that scene happens, it's been since high school since I read the Shakespeare, but then at least in the movie, I believe it happens in a church. And so it's funny that the tarot deck is seemingly reflecting the movie that we're glitching. And it's also funny talking about my goals of the week, because this episode is late for all the reasons I listed, but also just in general, my sleep schedule has been so fucked up, like not getting enough sleep at night, and then just being tired throughout the whole day. And so last night, instead of like rushing to get this episode done, I went to bed super early and slept in a little bit and caught up on sleep. I feel a lot better today. And so to get this card about rest, it's, for me personally, it's reassuring. But we're going to go ahead and see what the tarot book has to say about this card. So let me pull it up real quick. All right. It says rest, retreat, recuperation, relaxation, banishment. Now is the time of rest. The work or conflict situation you have been involved with is over. Regardless of the result, it is now time for you to regain your strength, both physically or mentally. This card may also indicate that you are finally recovering from an illness or injury, finally free from pain and suffering. You are now entering a time of change for the better. Your anxieties and worries can be put to rest. If drawn upright in conjunction with negative cards, the Four of Swords suggests that you may find yourself isolated, either physically or socially from others. You may literally find yourself banished. So that's pretty interesting to me, especially the ending about literally finding yourself banished, because I know with going on, we are almost to March, and that's when the pandemic really started picking up, and I know we all feel kind of banished, we all feel kind of isolated. So, remember to talk to your loved ones, get some rest, take care of yourself, drink some water, drink some tea, take a nap. But also don't forget to talk to your loved ones, whether that be text, Skype, a masked hangout in the snow, whatever you need to do. Be there for yourself and for your community. Anyways, that has been
Card of the show.
All right. Well, we are moving right along here, trucking away on this here 11th episode of the Omnia Sol Art Show, and we are going to go ahead and play our second song of the night from the featured artist of this episode, Bunny. The song is called Happy Tears, and you can find Bunny's music on SoundCloud. The link will be in the show notes. So go check her out. Go show her some love. Go like her songs and listen and follow her on SoundCloud. And we will be back with you after the song. All right, talk to you soon.
Cut my wrist, all this bitch, she's missing shit. Hit a lick, fuck a trick, don't miss a stitch. Baby boy, I'm your little angel, yeah. Smack my ass, press the gas, we fucking shit up in this club. I said, wait a minute, I'm finna drowning in them happy tears. My head's spinning round and round. And round and round and round.
Wait a minute, I'm feeling brown. Happy tears, happy tears, happy tears, happy tears, happy tears, happy tears, happy tears. Happy tears, happy tears, happy tears.
All right, folks, we are back. That was Happy Tears by our artist of the week, Bunny. So go check out Bunny's music on SoundCloud. Of course, the link will be in the show notes, as well as hopefully in the video credits. When the name pops up, just click the link and it'll take you to the SoundCloud. So we are going to go ahead and move right along to our fourth segment of the show. I'm so used to saying our third segment of the show, but now that I've added the goals of the week, this is technically the fourth segment of the show, which is the segment where I read from a book. It's time for words. It's time for words. It's time for words. All right, folks. Since it is the Snow Day episode of the Omnia Sol Art Show, we are going to go ahead and go back to the Orphic hymns and go ahead and read the Orphic hymn to the Greek god who's in control of the weather. Hopefully, the god of Zeus will bless us and help us all struggling with these snow days. Help our infrastructure, help our power, so we can get people, back to their lives and out of this fucked up mess that is climate change and decaying capitalist infrastructure. So the Orphic hymn to Zeus, and the incense for this, if you want to invoke the god of weather and whatnot, is Storax. So here we go. Much honored Zeus, immortal Zeus, we bear this freeing testimony and this prayer. O King, these divine things shine through your head, the holy Mother Earth, and loud sounding slopes of mountains, the sea, and all things, as many the heavens array within. Cronian Zeus, holding your scepter, you send down thunder, fierce in spirit, Father of all, and the first, and the end of everything. Earthquaker, increaser, purifier, the vibration of all things, the lightning, thunder, and the bolt. O nourishing Zeus, hear me, the god of many forms, and give unto us faultless health and divine peace, glorious prosperity without blame. All right, so shout out to Zeus. Shout out to whoever in ancient Greece wrote that beautiful Orphic hymn to praise Zeus. And this has been the section of the show where I read from a book. You know what it is. It's time for words. It's time for words. It's time for words. All right, so I did a little research, and research that I should have done before I recorded this episode. But what can you do? It's a glitch art video podcast. Sometimes there's going to be glitches that aren't art. There's just going to be glitches where I make mistakes. I had mentioned how I wanted to put a link to Bunny's music in the credits. What I found out is you have to be part of the YouTube Partners program to do that, which your application will just get thrown out if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, apparently, according to the article I read that I Googled. And I'm not anywhere near there. If you like this show, tell your friends about it, and tell them to subscribe, like and subscribe, as the saying goes. Hopefully one day I'll get up to 1,000 subscribers, and then hopefully I can apply for the YouTube partner program or whatever bullshit that is, just so I can put links in the actual video. In the meantime, I did figure out how to put links in the show notes that actually work. For stupidity or aesthetic reasons, I don't really know. I wasn't including the http:// www. I was including the www, but I wasn't including the http whatever. Apparently, that's why the links in my show notes always just looked like unclickable links, and I thought that was just YouTube in general just was unclickable. I'm pretty new to YouTube. I'm not that new to YouTube. I was using this shit in high school for like dumb shit, but like as far as being a YouTuber, I'm pretty new to this shit. So what I realized is I can now go back to those old episodes and fix the links and make them better. It's going to take a little bit of work, but in all future episodes, including this episode for Bunny's music, the link in the show notes will be clickable. So go click that link, go support Bunny, go listen to her music. And without further ado, speaking of Bunny, we're going to go ahead and play our third and final song of the night from Bunny. Link will be in the show notes for the SoundCloud. The song is called D and D. And the mutual friend I spoke about of I Need Health Insurance on Instagram they did the video for D&D, which I think is on YouTube and I think is on Instagram TV as well. So go check that out. Without further ado, here is D&D by Bunny, and we'll be back with you after the song.
I don't know, it's weird. It's like at times I find it hard to cry, and then at other times I find it hard to stop.
Sleeping tonight, demons can't wake me up if how about we try? Dreaming tonight, demons
are back. That was D&D by Bunny. Listen to her music on SoundCloud. Click the link in the show notes. Go check out her music, and as a thank you for providing music for this show. And I don't know. I hope everyone had a good snow day. I don't know what the plan for the show next week is going to be. We'll just have to see when it happens. What I glitch. I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out. But hopefully something good. Hopefully I come up with another classic episode of the Omnia Sol art show, also known as TOSAS. Oh, I also want to say this show is syndicated by Locust Review. Let me double check the website for that. I believe it's just locustreview.com. But they have been nice enough to syndicate the show, which means that, of course, this show goes up on YouTube and Patreon, and I plug it on my personal Twitter and Instagram and sometimes Tumblr when I remember. But it also goes up on their website. So big shout out to Locust Review. Great, awesome socialist art newspaper. They've also got a podcast called Locust Radio. So go show them some support for, supporting me. And, they're great. They're awesome. My comic strip ZZZZZZ is actually being featured and printed in their newspaper as well. So go subscribe to them. I think it's like $2 or $3 a month to subscribe, and you get the newspaper. And the podcast is really cool too. So go check out Locust Review. That's my plug for Locust Review. I overall, I think this was a good episode. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I hope that you had a fun snow day hanging out with me, watching the Omnia Sol art show, and hope you can stay warm and stay out of the snow. We are going to go ahead and call it a night and roll the credits. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. If you like the show, you want to support it, obviously, like and subscribe as the saying goes. But if you really like the show and you really want to actually financially support it, could use your support. Patreon.com/Omnia Sol Art, spelled just like how the show is the Omnia Sol Art Show, just Omnia Sol Art by itself. Patreon.com/Omnia Sol Art. And hopefully I have a website coming soon. But yeah, if you support the show, if you spend up to $15 in patronage, I'll send you an exclusive poster and some stickers. And it really helps me out because I'd like to get to the point where I am not... First off, I want to get to the point where I'm not losing money on the show. Secondly, I want to get to the point where, maybe I can make some money on the show, at least to sustain it, because we gotta pay for the creative cloud around here, unless I were to figure out a different option that wasn't a creative cloud, or like someone would wanted to split creative. Anyways, support the show. Thanks for watching. We will be back with you next week.